Tyler Stevens has added a new Longhorn to his garage. He went into the weekend at Wheatland with his Category 5.2 race car, but he left with a Longhorn. So you can see here, obviously, April 9, he posted, our Keith Hammett Trucking Construction Cornet powered Category 5.2 race car is warmed up and in the box after a winter major overhaul, headed to Lucas Oil Speedway for Spring Nationals. However, a couple of days later, a week later, he would post this, says, thanks to Mikey, Josh, and Donk, we are rolling back with our new Longhorn chassis. We assembled it and got it race ready while we were there, so we will be ready to rip very soon. Have to do a little wrap work, and we will be ready to get it. And obviously, you can see there, it does have Mike Marlar's wrap on it with the pictures that he shared of it being loaded into his hauler there. So Tyler Stevens has acquired Mike Marlar's Longhorn. And for that part, Marlar was racing in his Infinity by Wells chassis, and he had a new look to his car at Wheatland. It is a white car, still has the gold there. A different look for Marlar for sure. Not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure if it's an improvement from the black and gold. I definitely think it's a downgrade from the black and red. I really like that black and red car that he was running last year. That was a sharp-looking car there. Maybe I'm a little biased because those are my two favorite colors, and then obviously that is my kind of favorite color combination, black and red. So going to be hard to beat that. But for those who like the white cars, Racing Jason, I know he likes those white cars. He probably likes this Marlar car here with the gold on the side there. So that is what Marlar debuted his new wrap, and he had some good results. Still putting out good results with that Infinity chassis there. Finished fourth on Friday night at Wheatland on April 11th, and then followed it up with a podium finish, third place finish on Saturday night. So he did really well, and it's not a surprise that he is getting rid of his Longhorn. This was article done by who was it here that wrote this? Kyle McFadden back in March, where he was talking about how he had switched over to the Infinity chassis. And Marlar said at the time, that's the best I felt in a long time. Actually had a really good car and really should have run third. I made a mistake on the last lap and gave up the podium. I passed Jonathan and should have rode the middle, gotten the crumbs, and held him behind me. I drove a little wide and got back under me. Just a mental mistake there. And this was obviously after those two Lucas Oil races at Atomic and Brownstown Speedway there at the end of March. So obviously was very happy with the car. And he kind of talked about how he ended up with an Infinity. He says Eric hadn't been in a race car in like 8 years, so I wanted to make sure everything was running good for them. Got in there and tested a bit, got it to where it was drivable. Then he went out and made some laps. Then they asked me if I wanted to race some. He says, David gave me a really big break when I needed one and took me out on the road some when I was younger, so I'll do anything in the world to help him. They needed a little help, and I was all about it. He just simply wants an opportunity to showcase their car. That's verbatim from him. And then after talking about whether or not he'd be on Lucas, which I think I covered in a previous video, he also talked about how he was really appreciative of Infinity allowing or sending their top engineer to help him prepare the car, specifically at I think he was at Brownstown and at Atomic. I'm trying to figure out where the guy's first name is. I don't have it memorized off of the top of my head. I think it's further up here. I know it. Tim Douglas. There it is. Their Infinity engineer, Tim Douglas. And so Marlar said this. He says, I just want to say thank you to Infinity for Tim coming along with us, showing us the ins and outs of the car. I was really happy he was there to help us, and that David and Eric and the Wells family let their employee come along with us. It was so nice for me this weekend to crawl through the window and do my part instead of doing shocks and springs and all that. I'm so mentally tired from doing all that I'm just happy to have someone now who can, when I run this car, help me with that. That's big. I've been screaming that for 2 years. So obviously that is not surprising. I think that he sold his Longhorn. And it's also not surprising that Tyler Stevens would want to move on from his Category 5. We know that Stormy Scott returned to the modified, and that Jason Durham, who was also the other part owner of the Category 5 race cars, he joined Hudson O'Neal as his crew chief for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and for the rest of the season. Obviously, Hudson seeing results from that relationship already, sweeping the races out there in Wheatland, winning both on Friday and Saturday night, and having very strong performances in both nights. So might have been why Tyler Stevens here decided to purchase the Longhorn and move on maybe from his Category 5.2 race car. Not sure if he still has the Category 5. I would expect he still probably has it in the garage still, but he definitely now has the Longhorn as well. So pretty big change here for Tyler Stevens, moving from the Longhorn, and then Marlar selling his Longhorn, seemingly being fully committed now to the Infinity. So we'll see how that goes. But clearly, right now, especially in the short term, it is looking really, really good for Mike Marlar, putting together a lot of top fives and definitely being a threat wherever he goes, even if he isn't going to be racing full-time with Lucas Oil or the World of Outlaws. If he shows up, you better watch out, because he's going to be competing for those podiums, as he has been since the month of March. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below.